Hello and welcome to another logical analysis. Make sure you like, follow, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. How'd you guys like the debate over the weekend? Inky versus Ankh. I thought it was a slaughter. Y'all can check that out. That'll be there for about I think 2 weeks. Is how long Nick usually keeps stuff up there? Something like that. So feel free to enjoy. We did that one with Hotep Jesus. And maybe we'll have some other ones going forward. But for now, we're back to the Jubilee grift. This time they've got some guy named Luke Beasely. I don't know who this Luke Beasely character is. Apparently he's a Gen Z liberal. So this ought to be fun. Without further ado, let's get into it. As usual, with the Jubilee debate, I typically like to give my opinion on the claim and then do an analysis of whether or not it stands up to any scrutiny. See whether it's fallacious or not. But the main thing we seem to have a problem with in these Jubilee debates is nobody ever seems to stay on topic. It's very rare that even the guest demands that the people coming up stay on topic. Like a lot of the time they just let them go off on their own tangents. So we're going to be assessing that. Jubilee also does their own fact checks. So we may or may not cover those. But typically I do. So let's see what these 20 boomers have to say to this Zoomer. Make sure everything set up right here. 1 second.
Would you be in a foxhole with Donald Trump or in a foxhole with Kamala Harris?
He had an option to go to the foxholes, and he lied multiple times to not get drafted.
I focus on let's get the population healthy. We got a bunch of sick
Well, we're not
people.
going to do it by taking away their health care. He had a lawful asylum claim. He had gone to the border checkpoint.
When you're trying to deport 20 million people, sometimes.
All right. Looks like we're good. I heard some interesting things in this intro, but I want to address it now because it'll be said later.
A few things happen.
Hi, I'm Luke Beasley. I'm a liberal Gen Z political commentator, and today I'm surrounded by 20 boomer Trump supporters.
So I guess he's a political commentator. How old is this guy?
My first claim is MAGAnomics is terrible for the economy.
Luke,
You look very swanky.
very nice to meet you.
Let's just start here, okay? Because you would agree Trump's landmark economic policy is tariff. That's like his biggest thing.
Well, let's start with the big picture. Trump has
Tariffs.
the right vision.
We'll get there. Let's just.
So, just to analyze the claim here. MAGAnomics is terrible for the economy. So, I don't think I've ever heard this term. I might have. I don't know. His sweatshirt is terrible. Yeah, I don't really like that design. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. But yeah, so MAGAnomics, I think I've heard that term like maybe once once or twice before. I'm assuming he just means like Trump's economic plans or whatever. If Maganomics is terrible for the economy, then he's just gonna have he's gonna have to substantiate this claim. And I guess he wants to get right into it, starting with the tariffs. So, let's see what else he has to say.
Just get clear. Who pays the tariff?
Okay, first of all, I'm a businessman. I do global CFO
Good.
work around the world. I got hundreds of clients. I've been
Good.
30 years of building businesses.
Beautiful.
I can tell you firsthand the reason why many of my American companies can't get into foreign markets is because of tariff
But
barriers.
just because Trump always seems confused about this, who is it that pays a tariff?
Well, the importer does.
The importer.
Right.
So every time Trump says foreign countries are the ones who pay the tariff, it's not U.S. companies, he's lying. We agree.
That's true. It's
He's lying.
importer-
Okay,
importer-
good.
it's-
It's weird for his whole economic policy to be based on a lie, but
Well,
okay,
what does it do? So that the tariff barriers create fair access.
And you see, so it's technically not a lie. It's just that cost gets passed on. I mean, what's wrong with that? That's how it has to be.
So it's all about fairdom. Americans, look around the room. You got some of the most talented people you will ever know in the world. We can give us a chance to compete, level playing field. We will do the work. We will bring in the international business. Many of our jobs, with globalization, which I led, many of our jobs have gone international because of unfair tariff practices. Even when we had property in China, we had to hire a non-tariff barrier. We had to hire a Chinese spy to be in our telecom company, stealing our secrets.
Okay, that's like a random anecdote. We got to go more. When you look at the impact, we've seen job growth slowing. We've seen GDP growth slowing.
Well, what's this guy talking about? I gotta go back here, man. The hell is he talking about?
Create fair access. So it's all about fairdom. Americans, look around the room. You got some of the most talented people you will ever know in the world. We can give us a chance to compete, level playing field. We will do the work. We will bring in the international business. Many of our jobs, with globalization, which I led, many of our jobs have gone international because of unfair tariff practices. Even when we had property in China, we had to hire a non-tariff barrier. We had to hire a Chinese spy to be in our telecom company, stealing our secrets.
Okay, that's like a random anecdote. We got to go more. When you look at the impact, we've seen job growth slowing. We've seen GDP growth slowing, unemployment ticking up, employment getting worse. That's all an impact of him slapping the futures. He's also tariffing, just quickly.
Hold up. Oh, that was a bunch of claims just now.
Look at the impact. We've seen job growth slowing. We've seen GDP growth.
Is that the fall of the tariffs, though? Like, can we? Like, what is he saying?
Growth slowing, unemployment ticking up, employment getting worse. That's all an impact of him slapping the futures. He's also tariffing, just quickly.
How do you know that that's an impact of the tariffs?
Brazil, which we have a trade surplus with, so it's not the trade barrier reason. He's tariffing countries where it doesn't even make coherent sense because he's upset about this thing or that thing, but then we're the ones paying the consequences.
Let's be clear.
That's incoherent.
Let's be clear about impact. In the second quarter, which we're still.
I mean, he's assuming that he doesn't have any like actual reasons for this. Sure, I don't see a lot of substantiation for the claims he's making, though.
We just finished. In the second quarter, GDP was at 3%, which is a normal range for us.
But
Core
if you
inflation at
average-
2.1 to 2.4%, which is normal for us.
That's not
Unemployment down at 4%.
You agree that we saw 48 consecutive months of job growth under Biden, and then Trump came in and we lost jobs for the first time in June, I think it was.
It says Biden had consistent job growth, but 8 million of those jobs were making up for COVID losses. I was just about to say that before I finished it. Like, I was reading this and I'm just like, didn't Biden take office like right after COVID? Like, you had people inside. Like, I mean, I know, right? I already don't like this guy. I'll keep my opinions to myself. You know, guy, I mean. That's look.
4% unemployment, which is
Well, he was handed 4%
which is
unemployment.
fine.
You can't give him credit for that. That's what Biden gave him.
Okay.
Agreed.
But
Biden's economy was good.
Not agreed. In Biden's economy, inflation went up. There were some years
Okay,
9%.
well, we handled it better than our
Okay.
G7 counterparts. That was kind of a pandemic thing.
We have $6 trillion of new foreign direct investment coming in.
Right.
We have
No,
a focus
no,
on
no.
we have a focus on AI. We have a focus on energy. Trump has a right vision for Americans abroad. People like you.
So
work.
let's talk again about his argument, right? Is that we're going to bring in a bunch of domestic manufacturers, which will be more expensive. Otherwise, we would have been manufacturing here already. We sent them elsewhere because it was cheaper. And so he's saying we'll bring factories back.
You're
But
saying you send
every-
our jobs.
but-
You're saying you send our jobs elsewhere.
But
Not,
if you
it's,
look-
not the, it's not the manufacturing that's important. They used to have 20,000
Do you
manufacturing
think
companies around
businesses,
Chicago alone.
when it-
Many of them
okay.
left never to return, which are jobs for people like the people in the room and people
Right.
that
And the
support you.
solution
That is not good for us.
broad strokes, draconian tariffs, as shown by we're losing
But-
manufacturing.
but-
We're
so
losing.
tell me-
Okay, so what is the solution then? Like if you're claiming that that's not the solution, then you're kind of telling us that you think you know the solution. But either way, this is something that can realistically happen. Like you can bring back jobs utilizing things like tariffs.
Tell me
Manufacturing
why
jobs
we're
right now
not.
under
I
Trump, we are.
can talk
I mean,
about companies I
statistic,
work
you can
for.
Google it. We'll
I
do
can
a
talk
fact
about
check
companies I
on
work
screen.
for. Manufacturers
We lost
come back.
manufacturing jobs
They have
last
more
month.
orders they can deliver.
The tariffs also don't exist in a vacuum.
Those are anecdotal, not the
But
broader
tell me
stats
why.
on this.
Tell me
So-
why you're against fair trade for Americans.
Oh, I'm for that. Heck yeah. And if Trump wanted to negotiate,
then how do you get to it without doing tariffs?
if he wanted to use it as a threat, right? He goes to countries. He says, "You have these trade barriers. If you don't reduce them, I'm going to slap tariffs." That would be one thing. That's not what he did.
So you think empty threats work?
But that's not what happened. He just slapped tariffs on the whole world, including an island with penguins on it, and then
He kind of did. But so what? That doesn't mean he didn't have like reasons. Sometimes it's just, a way of doing business, a power move, a negotiation tactic, if you will.
started trying to make deals, but it wasn't really working. So he just started. Wait, really hear
deals.
this? Not very many. It was like 3 that were actual
How
deals.
many months?
So, what proof do you have that there were only 3?
And then he
How
just
many
started
months are we
sending
into it?
letters to countries with no concessions saying, hey, this is your tariff rate. So there was no concession. We still have to pay higher tariffs here. We don't get the benefits that he says we're going to get, but we get the downsides of paying higher
But
prices.
we get them a chance to employment. The companies I work for get
Well,
a chance
it's not
to,
working.
Okay, pause. You've been voted
All
out.
right, my friend, Luke, nice to meet you.
So he can just say, like, everything is not working, but it doesn't really have to, like, even cite any sources or anybody that, like, can corroborate this. Jubilee did, like, a little with their fact checks. They tried to throw some stuff up there, but, like, a lot of stuff he was just saying, he was just kind of, oh, well, it's not working, supposedly, because but I mean, like, is that really true? That's the real question. Like, we could check some here. Let's see. Totally forgot about that. One of the things I wanted to check here is how many people came to sit down after Trump slapped the tariffs on the world, right? I'm gonna type it in exactly this way. And you say actually how many countries? Just so we can see. See what the Google demons say. Following his imposition of Liberation Day tariffs on April 2025, numerous countries have engaged in trade negotiations, with some reaching deals, while talks with others remain ongoing or have been terminated. All right, so give me a number. Well, they actually, so China, the EU, Mexico, Canada, Brazil, UK, Vietnam, India, and that's all for right now. But there's he said there were only 3. And it's sometimes it takes a while to actually come to an agreement, especially with a country like China or something. So I don't know if we can really give him that, especially because he didn't cite anything Like we had to go look for it ourselves. He couldn't even like direct us anywhere where we could find the information. I detract points for that. It's like if you're so sure about what you're saying, you should know where you got the information from, right? Scholarship, not scholarship.
Hi.
Hi, Luke. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Nice to meet
What's your
you.
name?
My name is Rosalind.
Rosalind.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So we're going to do this with everyone. We agree
Okay.
Trump lies when he says foreign countries pay the tariffs.
You know what's interesting about that is that if they weren't paying something, why were they so hard working trying to get out of it?
China, Japan, Mr. Japan is not paying the U.S. government in tariffs, correct?
Money is coming
who?
in. Money is coming in from multiple countries. First of
Why he just try to like imitate Trump just now? What was that?
all, you have UAE, Saudi Arabia, Japan,
In tariffs?
South Korea
In tariffs, yes or no?
that have all come to the table to give more than
Wait,
$1
we're
trillion
talking about tariffs
each.
right now. Are these countries paying us in tariffs?
I do not
what Trump says.
agree that the tariffs were the best idea. But I'll go ahead and give you that, okay?
Cool.
But all of the deals that Trump himself has made with countries that are bringing in over $1 trillion
Yeah.
to give to the
Okay.
economy,
What if-
they're going to make money off of
All
the
right.
American people. It's going to
Foreign governments have announced trillions of dollars of investments in the U.S. during Trump's administration, including $1.4 trillion from the UAE over the next decade. Other investments are as clear-cut. Japan announced $1 trillion in U.S. investments, but that's counting nearly $800 billion from 2023. So, I mean, they're still investing in the U.S. I'm assuming probably some manufacturing and bases in the U.S. Not entirely sure why that's relevant, but I do like where she's going.
that Trump himself has made with countries that are bringing in over $1 trillion
Yeah.
to give to the
Okay.
economy.
What
they're,
if-
they're going to make money off of
All
the
right.
American people. It's going to be great.
Okay, so major point.
And then she kind of sounded like Trump herself. It's gonna be great.
I hear it, but let me connect two thoughts. If Trump's so willing to lie to you, saying that foreign countries pay the tariff, which he repeats constantly, which is not true, then maybe he's lying to you about how many investments are happening. Like when they try to document it on their website, the last time I checked, they were able to document like 2.6 trillion and 1.
But see, the thing is, they do technically pay the tariff. It's just it's a chain, like most things. That's how most taxes work. And at the bottom of the chain, yes, the consumer is usually gonna have to pay that tax. But I think everybody knows that. Like deep down, everybody knows that. But a lot of people are willing to accept it, especially if they know that it can get us somewhere good.
1.3 trillion of that was from the Biden era in foreign investments in the United States. So if he's willing to lie about the policy he screams about, such a beautiful word, tariff, then he's probably willing to lie about,
You're good.
about how many investments are happening.
Okay, first of all, these countries actually came here, made the investments, spoke to the media.
How do you know that?
This is
There's
not
no teeth
out
to
of
it.
the ether. They showed
It
up here in
is.
the United States.
It's funny because I don't think anybody asked him how did he know any of the shit he said. So props for him for asking.
South
is claiming-
Korea,
okay, let's-
Japan,
let's-
all
yeah.
of these different people, either they got there or they didn't, and they are going to
They're made up
invest
numbers, but
trillions of dollars
they're
into
saying
our
to make Trump
economy.
relieve the
It's
tariffs.
going to be good.
But
there will
you
be
know,
more jobs
you,
in
I heard
this
you. I got your point.
economy
I got it.
than what we can probably
Why are we losing
even.
jobs right now then?
You want to know
What the
something?
hell?
We were
I mean, sometimes it's gonna get worse before it gets better, right? And I mean, we have things going on right now that are causing people to lose jobs that don't have anything to do with like tariffs, right? I mean, AI is becoming more prominent. That's one thing in itself, right? It's making certain things obsolete, certain things that people would probably normally hire somebody for. They can kind of outsource to like AI or one person that knows how to use AI. So yeah, like people are losing their jobs because of other things. That's not really an argument.
We're losing jobs under
We
Biden.
had historic job growth.
No,
but
that is not
it's
true.
true. A couple things. First of all, why do we outperform every single
Technically it's true, but it's also like because he came on the end of COVID, his numbers are probably skewed.
country on the planet under Biden in our recovery from the pandemic? We saw better GDP growth, historic unemployment. And then Trump has claimed he brought in $17 trillion in investment to the United States.
Okay.
Our GDP is like 27, 28 trillion. Does that make
And also, like, he was riding on the coattails of Trump's policies because remember, Trump was president right before Joe Biden.
any sense?
You
think
don't
he's about to bring
believe
that much
the
in
numbers
investments?
that Trump said, but you're quoting to me numbers that Biden said.
No.
So
If-
you want to
no,
know
no, that's not
something?
true.
If you don't
They
believe one, why do you believe the other?
Trump saying in front of a mic 17 trillion is different than the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I'm not talking about his words. Trump's words. Nowhere in the government have they been able to substantiate 17 trillion. Zero. They've only been able to substantiate, as I said, like 2.6, 3 trillion, and a big chunk of that comes from the Biden era. Whereas the jobs numbers can be substantiated by independent sources and are the institutions we go to for those trackers, the unemployment, the GDP. All of those things are actually mathematically substantiated, whereas Trump's big bold claims aren't.
Do you want to know
Pause.
something?
You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
It's a pleasure. Nice to meet you.
I mean, that was a nice little rhetorical flourish, I guess, but it didn't really make his argument any stronger.
Luke,
Hello.
doing a good job over there, buddy. You're tough.
Thank you. Let's see what you got for me.
Let's go.
Why are you lying to him?
So you agree Trump's lying when he says foreign countries pay the tariff,
I don't say he's lying,
but he's wrong.
but I'm saying it's not the complete truth.
It's not true at all.
Because everybody is involved in who's paying tariffs. Ultimately, it's the companies doing business.
Yes. Thank you. I like this guy.
But then ultimately, it ends up with the consumer. So
I like this guy.
I have some good feelings.
That's exactly what I said. Shout out to the bald man.
About tariffs, I have some not so good feelings. But what I like about it is he's stirring up the pot. He's stirring up the conversation. And what I like about that is he's got the world
What?
talking.
Stirring? I
Yeah.
don't want to stir if I have to pay
Oh,
more.
I do.
Yeah, people. He's getting people talking. What does that even mean? No, but it's provocative.
Stop
Oh,
stirring.
I do.
You want to pay more?
I want to stir it up.
You want to stir it up.
Absolutely.
You want
I like
to
the
lose
world.
jobs, which we have
No, I
happened
don't like
last
jobs.
month.
I don't like
We
that.
lost jobs in June for the first time since the first time Trump was president.
I don't like
All
losing
but-
jobs. And I agree with you. I don't
Okay,
like losing
and-
jobs.
well,
But
then
what I
why
like
would we
is
say it's fun to
we
stir it
have
up?
to get excited about what's possible. And the future.
Again, we're losing jobs for a lot of other reasons. Don't have shit to do with Trump. Trump doesn't have shit to do with AI. We're losing jobs because of AI.
For our country and what we're calling MAGAnomics, I'm excited because it's based in capitalism. It's based in free trade.
Okay.
It's based in getting the world involved.
How
It's
is
based in
tariffs
bringing.
free trade? That's the opposite of free trade.
It's an attachment to trade, and people.
Tariffs are technically the opposite of free trade. But I mean, yeah. It technically is the opposite of free trade. If you're it's kind of like a regulation. But sometimes it's just a cost to do trade. So I'm not sure I entirely agree with that claim.
Are going to negotiate the number. I mean, you know the history of tariffs. It used to be this, and now it's that, and now it's becoming a new thing. But tariffs are just a
What
part
does
of
that mean? I don't know.
Tariffs are just a part of doing business. It's just
no.
that's all
It's
it
a
is.
trade. It's a trade barrier. It's a tax.
It can be a barrier, but you negotiate.
Yeah, but like a trade barrier isn't necessarily like anti-free trade. Depends on what entities you're dealing with.
So, well,
if you don't
wait.
negotiate in business,
Again, just so everyone knows here, in case you're next.
It also depends on what you mean by free trade. Like they probably appealing to like this kind of idea of like complete laissez-faire economy, which I don't think ever really exists. There's always going to be some kind of like, because like people determine their own barriers, right? You might have to pay like a fee or a tax. A tax doesn't necessarily have to come from a government, right? Um, term tax itself is just kind of like you have a cost. You have to pay this, like a fee. They could be interpreted the same way depending on how you look at it.
I don't think you can never use tariffs for anything. There are certain critical
We're in
industries,
agreement.
but Trump is using them on everything, on
That's
all of
one
these
thing
countries.
that he has so many strategies,
causing-
Luke. Strategies. You need multiple
Strategies.
strategies.
Have you met him?
AI.
Strategies.
AI. Look at AI. Look what he's
If you
doing.
wanna- if
He's
you wanna do,
made
like
the claim.
semiconductor tariffs, that would be one thing. But instead, he's doing it on
Semiconductors is a
on
good category.
Brazil
I'm glad
and
we agree on
coffee.
that. A great negotiator doesn't limit himself. He takes as much as he can and he puts it here.
Those are
and
just
then
like
we come up.
floating fun
Negotiations
words.
are real, bro.
That doesn't mean anything.
No, they're real.
He's not
If you
negotiating
don't
with most of
nego-
the countries. He's sending letters with just, this is your tariff rate. And then we pay more
Okay,
for
tariffs is one thing. Let's move on to something
it.
else.
That's his main thing. Okay, well, let's go next to, I think demand side economics, where you really invest in communities that need it and are going to be the quickest to spend that dollar, is a much more effective way to stimulate the economy, as opposed to like supply side trickle down economics.
Demand? I'm all
And
for
Trump-
demand economics.
And Trump is doing the most trickle down, insane redistribution
Okay, sure, I don't necessarily disagree with that.
of wealth from the bottom to the top with his
I don't agree with that.
big, beautiful bill.
No.
The largest cut to
No.
Medicaid ever,
we
nearly
need,
a trillion
we
over
need
a
to
decade.
trim things. We need to tighten
Wait,
things.
wait. He lowered
Look,
taxes.
I'm on Social Security,
lowered-
bro. You think I don't worry about
Bro,
this?
he lowered
I worry
tax
about
rates
this.
for the richest Americans.
I'm for that. I'm
While
for
he's
that
taking
because
money
they're
from
the
the
ones,
poorest Americans?
because the richest people are business owners and they're who are creating jobs.
What money is he taking from the poorest Americans? Like, a lot of this is just rhetoric.
Without jobs in America, Luke, you know this.
You just
Without a
said-
job, Luke, in America,
Yeah.
without a job, you have nothing. You have no shot at anything.
Right.
It's the most important
Which
thing.
ripping away funds to critical programs hurts
This is a
people's community.
capitalist-
They now have less money. They have less
We gotta
ability
tighten. We
to
gotta
spend
tighten up.
money
We gotta
in the
tighten up.
community.
We
Wait,
give too
no,
much
just-
out.
shh. Let's just
Too
focus.
much.
Let's just focus.
Did you
Let's
just
just
shush me?
focus.
Yeah, pretty much everybody is getting lower taxes.
Luke,
I did.
come on,
I
that's
apologize.
disrespectful.
I apologize. I
All right,
apologize.
you're
Okay.
forgiven.
I apologize. But
Shushing me. Get out of here.
but do you agree? Let's just focus.
Okay, I'm focused.
At the same time, he did one of the biggest giveaways to the wealthiest 1%. He's also, which is increasing our debt. He's also cutting Medicaid. So it's not about tightening up because he's increasing the debt with these tax cuts for the rich.
Medicaid.
And he's cutting Medicaid. That's
I
not
can
tightening
talk-
up.
I
It's
can-
expanding,
I can
but for the
talk-
rich.
I can talk about Medicaid. Medicaid has been taken advantage of.
You slapped my hand.
By, well, I hope it's okay.
I don't like him. Like, he's just real zesty right now.
Medicaid has been taken advantage of. People are getting Medicaid.
And then like, yeah, like I don't really care. Like, oh my God, he's making cuts to Medicaid. Oh my God, oh wow, so sad. Is it still there? You get rid of Medicaid? Still have it.
Medicaid. They don't deserve Medicaid. They don't qualify for Medicaid. It's not okay. So I
Wait,
like it.
whoa.
I like that he trimmed.
I mean, I guess I'm not necessarily against like a government healthcare system, but I mean, like, just because he made some cuts to it, it isn't the worst thing in the world. Like, unless you're saying like he got rid of it for just like no reason at all, just because he doesn't like it, then hey, maybe you have something there. But I don't think that's what's going on.
Medicaid.
$1 trillion
I support
over
that.
a decade is going to cut a bunch of people who do
I-
rely on it, who aren't
Well,
scammers
we
or
need
fraudsters.
to get them
That's
healthy.
just mathematically
We need
true.
to get them healthy. I focus on let's get the population healthy. We got a bunch of sick
Well, we're
people.
not going to do it by taking away their health care.
Well, let's put the money into
What?
fitness and health.
I mean, we don't necessarily need like, healthcare and Medicaid to start getting people healthy. We could start making more efforts to just make our food healthy, for example. People could adopt healthier habits. I mean, at the end of the day, like, Medicaid isn't really going to do that. That's kind of usually like a personal thing for a lot of people. Now, if you have like medical issues, sure, that's going to help, but like, I don't think anything's going to be better than getting your own medical insurance, as long as you can afford it. I don't think anything's going to be better than just getting it yourself. The government is going to give you what they can give you, but there's always going to be limitations. It's going to be stuff it doesn't cover. And at the end of the day, you're gonna have to handle a lot of it yourself. It's gonna come down to you.
Programs. I like that.
He's not doing that.
I
He's
like
giving it to rich people.
No, programs to get you healthy.
I
not
know.
Heal you
One
after
way
you're
you-
Giving what to rich people? Like, what? Giving Medicaid to rich people? What are we talking about here? Is it? Are we talking about the tax cuts again?
Pause.
No.
This is the best you got, bro. Come on, Luke.
That was the most like entertaining exchange so far. I like the ball guy. Cool. That's a cool guy.
Hello.
Oh, Gene.
Gene, nice to meet you.
Okay, so about tariffs, it's actually very simple. All we have to do just look what happened before. In 1913, the only money coming into United States was from tariffs.
What
we had
happened
no
after
income.
1913?
Yeah, something bad happened,
Yeah.
but not because of that.
Okay.
The tariffs was bringing so much money that we could was able to buy the land.
Wait, hold on. I'm having a hard time understanding him. I'm gonna need to.
The United States was from tariffs.
What
we had
happened
no 1913. Simple. Gene.
Gene, nice to meet you.
Okay, so about tariffs, it's actually very simple. All we have to do just look what happened before. In 1913, the only money coming into United States was from tariffs.
What
we had
happened
no
after
income.
1913?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. No, he's right. Like this is how the government used to make money instead of taxing us. It's like, but then he would say, "Oh, well, we end up paying the tax anyway." Like, well, not necessarily.
something bad happened,
Yeah.
but not because of that.
Okay.
The tariffs was bringing so much money that we could was able to buy the land. We could borrow the money to other countries.
Right.
Everything was fine.
Right.
Then there was a creation the financial system.
Okay.
Now,
well,
but the history has
Yeah.
the facts, right?
Mhm.
We had economy running.
The history has the facts. Shout out to my Eastern European man. I don't know whether he's Russian or what. I know this accent has to be Eastern European. I don't know if he's Serbian, Russian. Yeah, this is Eastern European folk here. But he's kind of cooking right now.
Beautifully, just on the tariffs, with no income
Yeah.
tax, no land tax, nothing else.
we didn't.
Why is it not going to work this time?
So we have a fundamentally different economy, and I think you have rose-colored glasses about that time, and we then went into the Great Depression not too long after that.
No.
But,
This
but,
is the
but let's
part.
focus.
I mean, sure. But it's not really answering his question as to why it can't work. Like, just because we have a different economy now, doesn't mean we can't, like, shift back to something more akin to that, right? You start cutting back more of the taxes, the income tax, and start putting more tariffs on outside countries. That could help alleviate the issues, right? You got to tell us why that wouldn't work.
But we have a fundamentally different economy. Unless you want us to get rid of Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid completely, then it's not going to make any sense for us to pretend like we can go back to a time where we had a fundamentally.
Wait. So you're saying we'd have to get rid of those? Like, well, who says we have to get rid of those and that we can't keep those programs?
Different tax structure. So
Like, you're saying we need to have the income tax in order to have those? Like, maybe Social Security will grant you that. But it's not like we can't create some kind of opt-in system for it.
just because we were talking about it before, we've done a lot of tariff talk, and I think I made my point on that. I would love to hear your stance. Because I thought we were populists in this room, MAGA populism, but we're okay giving huge tax breaks to wealthy folks while you're ripping away healthcare for millions of Americans. Because that's an economic
What is
policy,
your
to be clear,
fact
too.
that wealthy getting a tax break?
Oh, that was in Trump's big beautiful bill. Every single individual now is
Absolutely not.
trillions. It was.
Absolutely no.
They'll put a fact
Absolutely
check on
not.
screen,
Okay,
yeah.
the fact.